This is Life's a Pitch TV. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lackens, all about hearing. Forward Floors, Ginger Pickle, Fred Olsen Logistics, The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year, Cancer Support Suffolk and the Ipswich Town Community Foundation. Fine voice. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. Welcome along to the DPS Tech Arena for this week's edition of Life's Pitch TV. I'm your host, Mark Murphy. Let me introduce you to the team. Terry Butcher. Hey! Russell Osman. Hey! No Chambo. Oh. On technicals, we've got John and Richard. Hey! And Sarah Jane is our floor manager tonight. Let me introduce you to the Capacity Crowd. Here are the Churchman Stand, sponsored by John Keeble Cars in Bramford. Hooray! And the North Stand, sponsored by Ashford Wright. We're on YouTube, and if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends if you love the show. So make sure you like and subscribe. If you're listening on podcast and on Suffolk Sound, you are most welcome too. Now, we need a special guest this week, and this week's special guest is a man who played over 500 games and scored over 250 goals in his professional career. It's only Marcus Stewart!
Right, guys.
Walking along, singing a song, walking in Stewart Wonderland. There's only one Marcus Stewart, one Marcus Stewart, walking along, singing a song, walking in Stewart Wonderland.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Welcome, Marcus. What a great reaction. You love that song, don't you?
I do, yeah. I mean, I've said it before, it's a Christmas song, but it's stuck. And whenever I hear it, you know, it's probably, I've had a couple of songs sung about it at clubs before, but that's the only one with that rhyme in it and that kind of song. So I know it's related to Ipswich fans.
Fantastic.
Because they're the only ones that sing it, but I love it. And long may it continue.
Indeed, yeah. I think, Butch, you've had a few songs really sung about you, Terry, haven't you, over the years?
Yeah, there's one that sticks in my mind.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's Terry Butcher is...
Can't hear Butch.
Yeah, Terry Butcher is, and it rhymes with tanker.
No.
Oh.
So you know what I mean?
Right.
But that was sung at every ground I went to.
Okay.
By the opposition, mainly. Sometimes
what about you, Russell?
Sometimes Ipswich fans.
Well, I can't hear
same song.
We'll try and get you... Marcus, can you hear me talking okay? Can you hear me, Marcus? No, he can't. So we'll have to just try and get him back again in a moment or two. He heard the singing anyway, which is a good start. Probably.
No, in answer to your question, no, I didn't have a song about me with Anchor
Russell.
or anything like that. So, you know, I was just under the radar.
Right.
Mark, you know, kept myself to myself.
Sure, we can think of one.
Got on with it.
Given enough time.
It's a bit late now, really, isn't it? Yeah. Ship has sailed, Mark.
Well, next time you're on the golf course, you know, we might hear an echo of there's Russell of something or other.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that'd be from his playing partners, the ones that were losing or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Send your songs into this address.
Yes, and we'll see what we can do. We'll get Marcus in a moment or two. I'm sure we can sort that technical glitch out.
The Osmonds had many songs, though.
Very good.
Very good. But not many good ones. Because they were crap, weren't they? Let's be honest about it.
Oh, Wild Horses.
Crazy Horses.
Wild Horses was okay. Yeah,
Crazy Horses.
Or Crazy Horse. Even Crazy one.
Yeah.
Wild Horses was the B-side, wasn't it? So, yeah.
Singing to the TV programme.
Oh, right.
I was going to start bursting into an Osman song then just to fill a bit of time until we got Marcus back, but I don't think I will.
No, move on.
No. You sure?
Yeah.
The offer's there. No? Okay.
Move on.
Let us talk about our last league game when we were here a week ago. Most of the crowd were from in Manchester.
Yeah.
So we had a very small but quality audience last week, I think.
Exactly.
Who was here last week? You see, there was a few of us, yeah. Not everybody's in Manchester.
We had a good evening, didn't we?
We had a nice night.
Very pleasant. Yeah.
I mean, looking ahead to Spurs and Manchester United, so many of us were thinking, that'll be an easy 6 points. Wasn't to be, Terry, was it?
No, I mean we were literally, I think, in this studio at the end of broadcasting, and we were already 1-0 up, and you sort of thought, wow, what a great start, but it didn't turn out to be like that. But it's another early lead, and it's another 3 points squandered because you need to build on that, and it's always sometimes dangerous when you do score a goal so early on that it sort of sparks the opposition into life, and it certainly did that.
And going down to 10 men, Manchester United as well.
Yeah, and like Terry said, we get off to a flying start. We're then facing 10 men for 50 minutes, and we still lose the game. And it's hard to take sometimes when it's like that. Some of the football's okay, some of the defending is still a bit questionable. And it's a bit disappointing the other night as well, in the cup game. But we'll come to that in a minute, I think. But the Man United game just really, I thought they were there for the taking. Especially when you start off as brightly as we did, and we keep doing it, and then we just, I won't say give goals away, but we've just got to be able to close the back door a little bit better still.
I think it was the acute disappointment of having so much possession against 10 men, and only really having sort of one decent shot on target, and you sort of think, well, we need somebody that's going to have that final pass or that final cross, or other people in the box, or push another man into the box. I mean, when you've got Smodic, Chaplin, Hutchinson, then Ciso, Ogbene and Burns all out, very attacking players, that sort of limits you very much to how many chances you can create.
Robbie Savage sort of hit the nail on the head in his...
that's not like him, is it? Really?
No, he hit something on the head. And he, I forget which channel he was working for, but his comment was that he loved watching Ipswich play. Plays some very nice football, but what are they trying to do? They get the ball wide, they don't cross it. They get the ball across the face of the 18-yard box, they don't shoot. What are they actually trying to do? Like I said, we create a lot of good possession, we retain good possession, but the end product is not quite there at the moment.
One of Ipswich Town's greatest ever goal scorers was Ray Crawford.
Yeah.
And Ray would say, if he was here now, Ted would shoot the ball, Ted Phillips would shoot the ball as hard as he could, wherever he was, and Ray would be there to knock in the rebound.
Yeah.
Why do we pad around so much? Why are we looking for that perfect pass, that perfect goal? Why when we're in that close in?
What was David Beckham's greatest asset?
Well,
on the football pitch.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say his wife.
Crossing the ball.
Yeah.
And that's all he used to do. He used to get half a yard and keep putting the ball in the 18-yard box. That's all you wanted from him. Go and get the ball, and apart from the free kicks that he used to bend in and penalties and stuff like that. But in general play, all he did was get crosses into the box, and that's what people fed off.
I mean, the only way United were going to score was from a set piece, and they did. Then they had a long time to defend. But if you've got an extra man, why not put that extra man into the box? Not so much, probably a striker or a midfield player, so you flood the box, because they were never going to score another goal after they got the third goal. So it's taking a gamble and pushing. They got one man up front, or probably not even that. So you can afford to have two central defenders, push the fullbacks down and push everybody in. Now, you're not going to get caught on the break because they haven't got the players, and they're doing a real hard shift, so they're pretty tired. Just take a gamble, and sometimes you need a gamble when you're up against a wall that's of defenders that's well drilled, and they were very well drilled and organising and scrapping and throwing themselves and all this. But sometimes a break can happen in the box.
You might get a lucky bounce, it might hit somebody's backside and dropped for one of our lads, but if you don't put it in there...
And by putting it in, it creates panic amongst the United defenders, and you might get opportunities. But the more crosses you put in, You know, the more chances you've got, and the shots as well. And we sort of think it just needed someone to do that, put a ball in, and someone to have a slice or hit his backside or whatever it is and go in the net. So and after the game, we've played games where we should have done better. We should have won the game, or we should have at least scored, and all these sort of things. And you feel even worse because you've lost the game, but you feel even worse because you think we should have done more. We could have done more. We should have done more. And I think that hurts more than we were unlucky, or they got a last-minute goal, or a bad decision, or whatever. That's when you feel unlucky. So it's a horrible feeling. It's even worse. So you don't want to have that again. And I think hopefully the players will learn from that, and so will Kieran. But you know, and then you go
to. You're running out of games to.
Yeah, and then you go to the Forest game, and it was a very good performance, and we made more chances in that than we did the Man United game.
Yeah, not many in the first half though, was there?
No, not many first half. No, it was. But then, you know, and you sort of look at Forest and say some of their players, they're one of the quickest teams to break, and all this, some exceptional talent. But we held them very well, and we had Jack Clark had a good chance and all that sort of thing, and he just felt that we could score. That wasn't apparent against Manchester United.
Yeah.
So,
but we had the changes again though as well, didn't we?
We're full of this. We're full of this. Oh, we should have done this. And what about this? And what about that? 22 points drop from winning positions. And when you look at that, you say, "Wow, you know, we should be up there, but we're not." So why aren't we up there? Well, because we haven't been ruthless enough at both ends to make sure we do that. And that's you're looking at probably players that have just come into the Premier League for the first time, players that aren't aware of that, what it's like up there, and we learned the hard way. So it's tough to take, isn't it? Everybody, it's tough to take. So you know, we want to just play the worst game ever possible and win 1-0, and we'll be happy with that.
Learning on the hoof, aren't you?
Meanwhile, Leicester keep losing. Southampton are all but down, aren't they? So it's between us and Wolves, really, I think.
And the ban for Cunha as well.
Cunha, yep.
Yeah. How many did he get?
Not enough.
Not enough?
No. I don't know, actually. Does anybody know what it is? 3, I think, is it?
Well, he had 3. I don't know if he's going to get an extension, so...
Don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that's a big loss for them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge loss for them because he is obviously very much their best player. But, yeah, But we've got to do it ourselves. There's no doubt about that. It's not looking for help from other teams. We've got to do it, and we've got to be strong. And with these games coming up, it's do or die, isn't it? Do or die.
Is, yeah, yeah. We're due a good run.
Yeah.
Keep saying that.
But, you know, we've got to play Wolves.
Yep.
Okay.
And Leicester.
And Leicester. So, you know, people didn't expect us to get over the line last season. And we did.
Yeah.
So... Never say never.
No.
You just hope that Leicester game doesn't come too late for us.
Yeah,
I know it's a
second last
away, yeah, second last game, so it'll be a big 6-pointer that day.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, it will. Are we too disappointed about an FA Cup exit? It would have been nice to have had a little run, wouldn't it?
Would have been lovely. It would have done the club the world of good. Would have done the players a massive boost of confidence all around the place. So... they'll be disappointed that they've gone out, you know, and especially it's always horrible to lose on penalties as well.
But with one exception, weren't the penalties fantastic? They were amazing.
Yeah, and Jack Clark's would have been all right if the keeper goes the other way. Jack Clark?
No,
Taylor.
Jack Taylor even. Jack Clark's was even better.
That was
But we didn't see that one. He scored
that was in the warm-up.
That was the worst penalty that was the worst penalty of the 9 or the 10, whatever it was. But it wasn't hit with conviction. You know, when I get lessons from Simon on the golf, and he always says on chips and everything else, conviction, commit to it, and he didn't commit to anything. My God, I've hit myself harder than that. So he's flipping Nora, yeah. But the other penalty, I mean, that's if you're going to hit a penalty, hit it hard. Hit it unless you do a Panenka and all that sort of thing, as Gary Lineker found out. It doesn't always work many years ago, but just commit. They were just sensational penalties. I thought we were going to be here all night watching this. We really did. But, you know,
you've got to feel for him. Someone's going to miss, aren't they? It just happened to be him.
Yeah. Well, he's missed 2 this season, so I don't think he'll be on penalties again. He wouldn't in my team anyway.
Would you have put him on this time? I mean, do they choose? Who chooses? Do they volunteer or what?
Some do. Sometimes the manager asks. Sometimes they have a list written down, but you can't gauge who's going to be on that list at the end because of extra time and all that. So, you just don't know. So it comes towards the end, because I saw. Who did I see? I see one of the coaches from Ipswich talking to Kieran on the bench. That was literally probably about a minute, 2 minutes before the end of extra time. So they would have, and he was writing them down, and Kieran was on, yeah, sort of thing. So that's fine. But I mean, sometimes players don't want to take a penalty. Sometimes players are very keen to step up.
If you win the toss, you take the first penalty. And you hope that everybody else is good in your team is just going to keep scoring the penalties, and the onus is on the opposition's last man standing, really, as it was in this case, and all the pressure seems to go onto that position then. And the 10th penalty taker, after such a great showing of penalties, there's a lot of pressure on him then.
Yeah, I missed the penalty shootout at Portman Road.
Yeah.
Against Laurie Civil, the Giant was in goal.
Yeah,
and it was a charity football match. Played with Trevor Wymark. I can't remember who else was in the team, and it came to sudden death penalties, and it was like one of these cartoon moments. All of a sudden, I was the person nearest the penalty spot. Everybody else had just gone completely back, and I went, "Oh, okay then." And so I had the whole of the Cobbold stand on their feet, cheering me on. I ran as hard as I could to kick that ball as hard as I could. And little Laurie was there, and I beat little Laurie, but I didn't beat the bloody post. My big moment.
Yeah. Tough
You
luck.
mean you missed?
I missed, yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame. We used to have a penalty taker when I was at Inverness. I was a manager at Inverness, and it was Rooney, but it wasn't Wayne Rooney. But he was took the penalty, and he was precise every time. And it was he was right-footed, and it was to the goalkeeper's right, but to the left. And it was always just inside the post every time. And he never changed until the last couple of years when I was with him, and then he started to be clever because he was confident that he could hit it. But every time he hit it with pace, every time, and even if a keeper gets a touch, then that pace will take the ball in the net. So there's a lesson for penalty takers.
Indeed.
But you've got to have the ball to do it.
Yeah,
as well,
I was better taking penalties on the rugby pitch than the football pitch. I was like,
So if you're on the
Did you ever
football
take a
field that looked like
penalty
rugby
in the match?
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I can't remember where. I think it's pre-season games somewhere down the line. But I scored one or two good ones on the rugby pitch at Twickenham against Wales international.
I mean,
games,
you've got to commit to them, haven't you? You've got to hit the distance anyway. But what about when you were taking the penalties? What was it like going up and taking the penalty? What did you think?
Pick your spot and just whack it.
Hard.
Yeah.
That's a secret.
Yeah. Any kids watching now? Pick your spot, hit it hard. There you go.
Don't pick your spot on your face.
No, don't pick that spot. No,
it.
sorry. Should have rephrased that when we talk about teenagers, really, shouldn't I? So, anyway, I think, fingers crossed. Hey, there he is!
Now we can hear about a penalty taker. This lad knows how to take penalties.
Can you hear us this time, Marcus?
Yeah, I can. It's only the last 5 minutes I'll be able to hear you, thank
Oh,
God.
brilliant.
Russ and Butch go on, don't they? God.
You didn't miss anything, mate. Don't worry
thank
about
God
that.
you're here. Thank God you're back.
Yeah, they'd run out of anecdotes, so we're
over
glad
to
you're
you,
back.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Stop the gas.
Tell us about your penalties over your time as a striker. Any spring to mind?
Well, I generally took penalties. I think when you're a young lad or you come into a new team, you've got to earn your right to get a penalty because there's other penalty takers before you. So that was the case at most of my clubs, especially obviously at Bristol Rovers as a young lad. But saying that, my second game as a pro, so my first game was against Ipswich and we drew 3 each as a pro. The 91-92 championship team we drew against at home. My second game was away against Tranmere and I was only 18 years old. And the only reason I was in the team was a guy called Carl Saunders got suspended the season before and last game of the season. So there was an opportunity for someone to play the first 3 or 4 games. And he was penalty taker. And we got a penalty at Tranmere. And this was Championship at the time, which would have been Division 2 back then. And no one would take it, so I said, I'll have it. It was to make it 2-1. So I scored the penalty and we ended up drawing 2 each, sorry. So I had to take the penalty then. So I was thrown quite early into the deep end. But obviously once he came back, he was penalty taker. But eventually I got, I got my place in the team and started becoming a regular penalty taker. But when you go to a new club, you say you got to earn your right, because other players in front of you that have been taking penalties for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and you just popped up and said, right, first game, I'm going to take them. So I wouldn't do that. I don't like that. So I'll wait for my turn, really. But the most nerve-wracking penalty I've ever had to take was at Pullman Road against Ipswich for Sunderland.
Right.
And we were both going for the championship title at the time. And I missed. I got the penalty, and I missed. And I'm not joking. I don't get nervous. You get a little bit anxious, but I don't get nervous. But that's the only time I said to myself, I shouldn't have taken that penalty. I should have given it to someone else.
Well, we're glad you did.
It was the worst penalty I've ever taken as well. It was powder puff, no pace on it, didn't mean it. I was. Yeah. So it's probably the only one that really sticks out in my mind.
Yeah.
Someone else should have taken it. But in a strange way, I kind of, at the time, I'm not glad I missed, but because obviously I wanted to win a championship for Sunderland at that time, so that one sticks in my mind. But yeah, I think it's a tough one for him the other night. He's missed the one before, and he's got that. What order did you go in? I think you have to go with your best penalty takers to start with to give yourself a chance. And I think that's what I think both teams did that.
I mean, the quality we were saying earlier on, the quality of those penalties was incredible, wasn't it? Apart from Jack Taylor's, but the others were just unstoppable.
Yeah, they were, but the goalkeepers didn't really get a hand to anything. If you're a goalkeeper, you go the right way. You get, unless it's top corner or higher than you think, which is a risk for a penalty taker. I think you got to get a hand to it. I don't think the goalie's didn't get a hand to it. So I don't think the goalkeeper standard was excellent either, if I'm honest. But saying that, they weren't horrendous penalties. So yeah, I think probably the last penalty was the worst penalty of all when it wasn't even the corner. So, but like I say, the pressure on the guy must have been horrendous. Yeah. Obviously, knowing that he's missed the previous one as well in a different cup competition. So yeah, but at some point you've got to take him. You're just hoping that if you're towards the end, that it's done and dusted 4 or 5 penalties before you. So, but that wasn't the case. So yeah, it's tough. I'm fortunate I've never been in a penalty shootout in my career, but I've had to take pressure penalties. So yeah, I've not been in a position, so I couldn't tell you.
Marcus, did you? Because you told me when we were at the Hall of Fame that Gary Lineker is your favourite player, or was your favourite player? Was that right?
Butch, what a guy!
Yeah, well, I'll just skip that for a moment. But I'm saying, did you look at the way that he took penalties, Gary Lineker?
No, I didn't. No, not at all. No, I didn't. So no, it's I just think you have to have your own kind of style. And my safe side was, left-footed to the left side of the goalkeeper as I look at him. That was my safe default penalty, I'd say, whether it was high or low. But no, I didn't know. That wasn't me. I mean, if you look now, I mean, was it Aldridge used to do it? Tranmere to stop, and I don't think he ever missed a penalty, did he? And Troy Deeney had a way of walking up to the ball, almost watching the goalkeeper before he's kicked the ball. I think that's the kind of thing you had to practice. I mean, because if you think about it, most strikers aren't set piece takers, are they? So they're not used to kicking the ball. That's still. So I find it quite difficult taking set pieces, whether it's corners, free kicks. I wasn't used to a still ball. So I think you have to practice that, because generally the ball comes to you and it's a finish. The ball's on the move, whether it's from your left, back at you, behind you. So I think taking something from a standing position and the ball still is quite. I think it's something you have to practice. Obviously, the further out the pitch you go, free kicks and corners, the more you have to practice because it's further away.
Yeah, I play with 2 lads that could score a penalty. Walkie, obviously.
Can hear you now.
Yeah. Johnny Walk, obviously, down the Portman Road. We'll get you back on, Marcus. And Matt Letizia. Magnificent penalty taker. Great goal scorer. And if you have a look at his 100 best goals, Matt Letizia, there's headers, there's side footers, there's long distance shots, chips, dinks, dribbles, everything. And his penalties, I think he only ever missed one, I think. And that was probably, for some reason, he was larking about with David James or something, Man City or something like that, told him which way he's going to do it. And David James sort of kidded him over it, and somehow he missed it, which seems a bit strange. But he was a great set-piece taker.
Yeah. And Walkie was obviously a giant for us, wasn't he, over the years?
Yeah.
I can't remember him missing one. Did he miss one?
I can't remember him missing one. It was ice cold, Johnny. Just, it was like.
He missed two, says John in the capacity crowd.
Two.
Manchester City and Spurs.
Did he?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like shelling peas for him, though.
What dates were they? No, I went the actual day and month. No.
In 81.
Wow.
In 81.
What did he have for pre-match meal at all? You find out?
He probably does know, Butch. He probably does know.
Brilliant stat.
Look, let's pick the Live Pitch TV Player of the Week, sponsored by the Dove in Ipswich. So over 2 games, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Would you like to pick a player, Russell? Sorry about this.
Interesting. Very interesting. No, I wouldn't actually. There's so many changes for the cup game. I'm trying to think who had a decent game against Man United and followed it up by actually playing
Just had
against
Sarah Jane, our floor manager,
Forest.
walk past and whisper in my ear, off camera, Wolfie.
Wolfie.
She's either talking about my dog or Luke Wolfenden, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can give it Wolfie. He's not done bad, but did he play both games?
Yeah.
No, he didn't, did he?
No.
So
Terry, got any sort of...
Can we do it game by game?
All right then, game by game. Manchester United.
I'll tell you, I'll go Dar O'Shea.
Okay, Dar O'Shea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd probably second that. Yeah,
Okay.
because I couldn't say anybody else. So, okay.
But he's been very steady, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
He's very steady.
Yes, he has.
Player,
He's
yeah.
a very steadying influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to give it to Dara O'Shea then,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
Our player of the
Yeah,
week.
did a bit of right back, didn't he?
He's got great teeth as well.
Yes, he has. Yes. Don't forget, if you'd like to be part of the capacity crowd, free beer, and some snacks as well. Just go to our website, www.lifespitch.tv, click on capacity crowd, and you can apply to be part of the crowd here on a Wednesday evening. Now, hopefully we're going to get Marcus back on again, because we want to talk about the March of the Day that he's doing and lots of stuff to talk to him about. While we kind of sort out the technical glitches that we've got this evening, let's cheer you up, Terry, shall we? It's time for Ask the Legends, sponsored by Seckford Golf Club. And Simon Jay's here from Seckford Golf Club with this week's question.
Go on, are we ready? Evening.
We're ready.
Love this bit, don't you? So in honour of our shirt sponsor, Ed Sheeran.
Oh, I thought you were going to do some Keith Hackett questions.
Oh yeah, good point actually. That's coming later. I know you love a Keith Hackett question, but that's not it tonight. In honour of our shirt sponsor, Ed Sheeran, tonight's question is a mathematics one to support the tour. So using the squad players' numbers, can you solve this sum and work out the player we're looking for? So here we go. Your first player, Luke Wolfenden, plus Ben Johnson. Give you a bit of thinking time. So Luke Wolfenden plus Ben Johnson. You should have a figure now. Subtract Cameron Burgess. Multiply Leif Davis. I will repeat this. Multiply Leif Davis.
Please help out capacity crowd, or hinder as you wish.
Hang on, there's a few red cards got to be sorted out here. If anybody says anything again, you're out the door. You understand? Right.
So recap, Luke Wolfenden plus Ben Johnson, subtract Cameron Burgess, multiply Leif Davis, and then your final one is divide Murich. So Wolfenden plus Johnson, subtract Burgess, multiply Davis, divide Muric, equals. It will give you a number. And whatever number you have, we want to know who the player is.
So the number's not good enough on its own.
The number is good, but for extra bragging rights, if you can get the player as well. So lots of scribbling going on, Mark, over there on those pads tonight.
Any good at maths, Butch? No. Russ?
Nope.
Capacity crowd?
Anybody got it?
Just do it one more time. And then
Okay, so one more go. So Wolfenden plus Johnson, Ben Johnson, subtract Cameron Burgess, multiply Leif Davis, divide Muric. There are all your emblems from the shirt.
I still think, Terry, you've got double figures now, haven't you? 10.5. Russell, 16.5 on this. So you're into double figures, which is good. Are we going to see you stretch on into double figures, Terry? Do you have an answer for us?
No.
I knew you'd love this.
So we're looking for a player, aren't we? Really,
We are,
in
yeah,
all of
the
this?
number and then the player.
Okay. Russell?
Sam Morsey, number 5.
Sam Morsey, number 5. Terry? Going to have to hurry you, Terry.
Oh, no, Liam Delap.
Okay. Liam Delap would be number 9. 10. What?
19.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Get me at it
are
now.
you good at maths? Yeah, no, obviously not.
Whose idea this was to do arithmetic?
What a good question this is.
So,
So the
Anybody
answer...
near?
Yeah, is anybody in the capacity
shouts from the crowd?
anywhere near?
no? 27, you think?
He's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
John, that's very good. It is number 27, and it is George Hurst. Let's go through it. So Wolfenden's number 6, plus Johnson, who's 18, which gives you 24. Subtract Cameron Burgess, 15, so we're down to 9. Multiply by Leif Davis, 3, so that's 27. Divide by 1, which is Muric. So you've got 27. George Hurst.
Very good.
So I think 19 was the nearest, wasn't it? Morsey and Delap. So I'd say Terry with 19, yeah?
There we go. How the hell did I win that, by the way?
No idea.
I fell at the first hurdle with Wolfenden, so I mean, there we go.
What did you
No,
put
I'm just,
for
I'm
Wolfie?
just joking. I know his number. Yeah, this used to
we
be
go.
mine, but there we are.
That was an easy one, wasn't it?
16.5 to Russell, 11.5 Terry coming up, and still a few more games. You know, it's just like
Thanks, Simon, for that.
just like saving relegation
brilliant. Thank
for
you
you.
very much.
I'm glad you made tonight's show, Simon. To be honest,
Thank you.
no, I'm not. But there we are.
Okay. Well done.
Right, third time lucky. Marcus Stewart's back. Or is he?
Live from Twerton Park.
Can you hear us, Marcus? No. No. Can you hear us,
Here he
mate?
is.
Hello, mate. No. He's still trying to sort it out. So let's take him off the screen, come back to us. So,
But at least he's been on the show.
he's been on 3 times now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, he's one of the elite band of people that have been asked back twice.
Yes, and quite rightly so.
Yeah. So there are quite a few. Now, look, we've got...
I played against him, you know, Marcus.
Did
Down
you?
at Twerton Park, which was in Bath, where Bath City used to play. And he was a right little pain in the arses. Jesus. He scored a couple of great goals. You know, he played with a big centre forward called Devon White. Massive lad. And Marcus was just there. And his record was like a goal every other game, you know, 1 in 2. Brilliant. Fantastic goal scorer. And you couldn't touch him. In and around the 18-yard box, he was like magnificent. Great finisher. Pure finisher. Super player.
I mean, he played for a lot of teams, scored a lot of goals. So he's obviously got a lot going for him. And a lot of it is the movement and the timing. I mean, we've had a big conversation prior to this program about Gary Lineker, and it was, you know, he's very similar to Gary Lineker in terms of his sharpness and anticipation around the box. So, and in the box, very much in the box. So he makes the right runs. He knows what to do, and we needed someone like that at Old Trafford. To be honest, someone that could nip across.
Well, let's go back to What's your job description? What was your job description?
Defend.
Yeah.
Defend.
Marcus's job description and Guy Lineker's job description was to score goals, and they were allowed to do that. You know, and they lived off the fact that people were putting crosses into the 18-yard box, which is what we were talking about earlier. They weren't that worried about closing people down, being the first line or the trigger to press the defensive unit. Their job was scoring goals, and that's what they were allowed to get on and do. And maybe we've lost our way a little bit in that we're asking people to do all these other jobs apart from the ones that they're really good at. But Wes Burns crossed the ball.
Yeah.
Get the ball in the 18-yard box.
But the thing is, we used to, when you have two strikers, you work on movements. So you when ball up to striker, lay it back, out wide, take a touch the wide man and put the ball in the box. And you have sometimes 1, 2, or 3 defenders. So you have a lot of people in there that are going to try and stop you from scoring. So therefore, you have to make the right runs, and you get used to that. You know, I can't imagine if there was 2 strikers playing for a team now in the Premier League, how the 2 centre halves would actually deal with that, because they'd be frightened to death because they wouldn't know where the runs are. They wouldn't know where 2 men are. Some of them don't even know where 1 man is in the penalty area. So it would confuse them. And you know, by putting crosses in, we used to have the stat that more goals are scored by crosses going into the box, but that's not necessarily so now, or it might be, I don't know. But it's going to be a lot less. But with 2 men in the box, particularly when you're against 10 men, you sort of 2 strikers, you sort of think, well, the chances are you are going to score. You will score at some stage, and there'll be a cross going in the box. Because even the fullbacks, they don't defend crosses now as well.
No.
They let people put balls into the box because there aren't many headed goals that are scored. You know, it was from a set piece that we scored against Forest, and it was a great set piece. But there's so much space around the back. They can't defend. They try and grapple and hold. They think that's defending. And our arms would have been broken if we did that with Bobby Robson and Bobby Ferguson. So we didn't do that.
Different world. Right. We've got him back. Marcus Stewart's here. Can you hear us? No. Oh, no. No. Can you hear us, Marcus? No. No. No, he's playing with his screens. No, oh, blimey. Let's take him off screen. Let's play some table football, shall we? Sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics. We will get him, I promise. So, Terry and Russell, your chance to come up, get off the sofa, look. Stretch your legs. We do need 2 able volunteers, or any volunteers. Come forward, young man, to take on Terry and Russell round the other side. We need somebody else. What's your name?
Owen.
Owen. So we need somebody else to partner Owen. Come on, there must be somebody in the capacity crowd who wants to partner Owen at this.
Got a stronger handshake for me.
Got to be someone. Come on, Russ. You pushed you forward. Come on.
Oh, you're always on this.
Yeah, he's getting good. So Luke, he comes here when he feels like it. Chambers is still on the top of the board with 5 points. And this is 60 seconds worth of play to see how many goals, Owen and Russell, you can score against Terry and Russell. And we're off. Oh, it's 1-0 to Terry and Russell. A quick goal from the off. Come on, Owen. Come on, Russell. This is your big moment to score against 2 England internationals. See what you can do. 2-0 to Butcher and Osman. I think they got a set of table football for Christmas. Because since Christmas, they've been on fire. Good shot, Owen. Booted out from the back there. Good shot from Russell Osman. Oh, good shot from Owen and Russell. Still 2-0 at the moment. 3-0. 3-0 to our legends. A hat-trick for Russell Osman tonight. Come on, boys. Get a consolation goal back. Come on. Come on. Still 3-0. Got 3-1. 10 seconds to get several more. 3-1 at the moment. Good consolation goal. Come on, make a match of it. Come on. Going to give you another 5 seconds. No. Yeah! 3-2. Well done. 3-2. Brilliant. Fantastic. Well done. Chambo's still on top of the leaderboard, though, with 5 points for that. Let's talk about... you two have been practising, haven't you? You've obviously got table football tables for Christmas, or going down the local pub.
Well, we've been here all day.
We are now better players than when we first
Well, you are, yes.
went on the show.
Yes, you are.
Playing that, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice.
Yeah.
Permanent.
While we try and get Marcus back again, let's talk about Palace, our game on Saturday. We've got still so many injuries. Who knows what lineup we're going to put out? You can probably guarantee Palmer and Delap, O'Shea, Greaves. Don't know who else. Don't know. We don't really know what our team is, do we? Let's be honest. We haven't done all season.
No, and it won't be 4-4-2.
Even if we have a lot of fit players, we still don't know what team he'll play. But I know they'll give it a go, and I think the game in the 1-0 reverse at Portman Road last year was, I think it was last year. It was just that sort of came out of the blue. It wasn't a particularly great match, and they sort of pinched one right at the end, or near towards the end. But they've got Mateta up front, who's very strong, very good player. He's scored more Premier League goals in 2025 than anybody else.
I'm told he's out.
He's out.
Yeah, he got caught with the keeper.
Goalkeeper
Got a few stitches
accidentally
Was he?
caught him.
Yeah.
with
They
his.
didn't stop us.
Yeah.
Why is he out?
Look at the shirt behind you, Butch. It certainly didn't stop you.
us. No.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's out. I mean, that's good news for us, isn't it?
That's very good news. Excellent news. But they still have other good players. You know, Eze as well in particular. Is he playing? Eze, or he's out, or... Yeah, so
They do have a lot of good players, and I think their squad is, the stable is a little bit fitter than our stable at the moment.
yeah, very much so. And they're well led as well, and they've had an amazing run this year. Zoomed up, and they're a strong side. There was never any doubt, because early on in the season they were sort of down there with us. But everybody knew that they as soon as they got into their stride, they'd be fine. But they are. They're well led. They break well from the back, as most teams do in the Premier League. And they're a side that can score goals out of the blue. And did you see them on? Saw them on, was it Saturday? When they played very well. They looked comfortable. They looked strong. Good at the back. Good keeper. So it's a tough task. But we've got more points. We're second best, I think. More points. From our away games, we've secured 10 from 17. So there's not many teams do that. Our away form is much better, and it's shown in the 2 matches, Manchester United away and Forest away, that we've done pretty well. So it's just getting that winning goal. Just doing
a point would be a good result for us, though, wouldn't it? I think we're gaining a lot of confidence.
I think we'd all take a point now, would we not?
Take a point.
Take a point now,
and then you hope you can build on it. Then, don't you?
Yeah.
Right,
and we've done it before against probably better teams as well, a point away from home. So yeah, I've got great confidence in the team.
You still think we can stay up?
Yeah, I still think we can, because there's a lot of hurt there. There's a lot of disappointment and frustration, and I think at this stage, when you look at Leicester, when you look at Southampton, there's none of that. There's an acceptance from those teams, because they know they're going to go down. But from us, there's not. And I think it was somebody from the team, the club, said that it's not done yet. One of his quotes in the paper, I think, might have been Townsend. The quote in the paper was that it's not done yet. And until you stop believing in that, then you've got to go together, and you've got to go all the way. And I think they'll get there'll be a good crowd from us down there as well. Good noisy crowd. This has been brilliant. And I think we'll come through this together. I honestly do, because Wolves are the ones. And last year Forest only got 32 points. We've got to make sure that we get at least that. And why not do it? We've done it before this time of the season, 2 years running. So let's do it again.
Yeah, there's nothing in between the two sides when we play Forest again. We can entertain them at Portman Road, knowing full well that, there's not a lot between us. And it's just going to be whoever converts the chances on the day. It's not going to be one side dominating the other. It's just who doesn't make the mistakes in the 18-yard box and who capitalises on the ones if somebody does make them. And I just think we've got enough about us. We're strong enough. We've got enough passion at the club, and we will go on a little bit of a run. But it's just unfortunate we've got so many injuries at the moment, which is a
Very
shame.
unfortunate.
Well,
Now, we were going to talk to Marcus about March of the Day, which
Yes.
is coming up very soon, and you boys are involved. So tell us about it, and what is your involvement?
Well, we're going to walk. We're going to join the walk at Colchester. The walk itself starts on the Friday, the 21st of March, and they leave Wembley Stadium and they're walking all the way. His team are walking all the way to Portman Road, planning to get into Portman Road by Sunday evening around about 7 o'clock, I think, and we're going to join. Me and Terry and one or two other people are going to join the walk at Colchester.
Yeah.
And
our
our
floor
floor
manager
manager.
tonight, Sarah Jane, is one of those who is doing it, and she's just been directed by me to go to the microphone, and the look that she gave me was worse than the ones you normally give me, Butcher.
Oh my God.
So that's bad.
Yes.
Your debut speaking, I think, on the show, isn't it?
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're
yeah.
signed up as well.
Yes, I'm signed up, and so is my friend Jen over there. And we are walking from Colchester United to Ipswich Town. And at the moment, on our Just Giving page, has gone up tonight. So we've got £185 so far in donations. So thank you to everybody who's donated, and
More
if
to
you
come.
can, more to come. Hopefully, yes.
Yeah. What's made you want to do it?
Just inspired by the charity and that, and also a friend of mine's husband had MND, so just want to do as much as we can to support the wonderful charity and help as many people and families as we can. Yeah.
There's hopefully a cure around the corner.
Oh, let's hope so.
This
Yeah.
kind of fundraising helps with all
Absolutely.
of that, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. And it's so inspiring. It really, really is. Yeah.
Been training?
A little bit, walking the dog.
Yeah.
Poor dog.
What about you boys? Much training?
A little bit on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a weight round
Yeah.
around the back, a little bit there.
Yeah, well, I thought that I was going to walk from Braintree to Portman Road, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's a long way, and I'm going to have to do some training. So I started the training, and then I got a message from Simon Milton, who's doing it as well, that I was only going to meet up at Capel St Mary and then walk to Portman Road, and I thought, well, that's a round of golf, so that's fantastic. I don't need to do the training. And then now we've expanded it to Colchester, because it's, you want to contribute a little bit more than just one leg sort of thing. So we're going to do that. But when I was younger, very much younger, there was an actor called David Niven, and he contracted MND, and he had a book, The Moon's a Balloon, and I read that,
Yeah.
and I was
Great
very
book.
much aware of that, and I thought, at that time, I thought it's a dreadful disease. It really is. So we just got to make sure that we can do as much as we possibly can, and it's really impressive. So much so with all the football fraternity coming together as well, and being on the walk. So I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's for such a good cause.
Well, let's, for the last time and hopefully the most successful time tonight, bring back Marcus Stewart. Yay!
I don't know what's happening with the audio. I've been listening, and then it just goes off for 10
Don't worry.
minutes, and then it comes back on for some reason. But hey,
We've got you now. So just tell us from your point of view all about March of the Day in case we lose you again. So just you keep talking, Marcus, and we'll listen and shout and cheer.
okay, so it starts on Russ was right, on the Friday the 21st, about 8:30 in the morning from Wembley. Takes in over 44 football clubs before we get to Ipswich. So some of them are non-league football clubs, some of them are pro clubs. So we go from Wembley to Barnet to Wingate and Finchley, Wingate and Finchley to Tottenham Hotspur to Arsenal. I'm going to take me half an hour to do all these, but that's the start of it. That's what the first 3 hours are like. So sorry, first 16 miles are like. So every 16 miles there'll be 4 or 5 different clubs involved. Obviously finished up at Portman Road, and I think there's around about 200 and 300 people that are signed up for it. So those people that are signed up will get t-shirts through the post, and those people will be starting at all different points of the walk. So whether it's some start at Wembley and go to Tottenham. Whether you go from Tottenham to Arsenal, you can start and finish wherever you want, wherever you're registered. But most people have registered from Colchester to Ipswich, which is fantastic. From my own point of view, I'm going to try and do as much as I can. I'm going to start at Wembley and try and get to Tottenham or Arsenal, which is about 16 to 19 miles in, depending which one I finish at. And then I'll have a break for a couple of days, and I'm going to start again at Colchester, hopefully with Russ and Butch, and Milts and all those guys. Matty Holland's doing it all. He's a core walker, so he will be doing the whole walk. He will be sleeping in the bus. He will be getting off the bus at 2 o'clock in the morning, going again, getting off again at 4 o'clock in the morning, go again. So at every point out of the 16 core walkers, someone has to be walking. Whether it's through the night or daytime, whatever time of day, they have to be walking. And they generally walk within groups of 3 or 4 for safety reasons. So, you might do a 6-mile walk, which takes you an hour and a half, and then you might get an hour and a half break, and then you got to go again. So obviously my wife did it last year, and I think between all the walkers, it works out they did about 75 miles, because 1 or 2 did extra. So that's the minimum amount you have to do when it comes to your kind of rota. But if you want to carry on, because someone might be joining a certain part of the walk, they can do. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. And, to be finishing at Portman Road as well, I mean, it's the club where I had the most success in my career, and probably I have the biggest connection with fans as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm lucky I get a day's rest, but the core workers aren't getting a rest.
Marcus, can we stop for a drink on the way? Can we have a pint along the way?
It's not a big bus, it's a minibus. So it's not just the walk itself, it's a sleep deprivation from them, that point of view. Getting food on the go from as you walk past, like a Co-op Extra or whatever. So it's a tough rolling 3 days for local walkers. So when they get to Portman Road at 7:30 in the evening on Sunday, the 23rd, they'll be well and truly tired, and deserve a big cheer for raising that massive awareness. And BBC are covering it as well every day. So that's brilliant. A bit like they did with Kev Sinfield with his challenges he's done. They're doing the same for this walk. So the media, for me as well, are outstanding, because without them, we don't get the coverage.
Well, it's a fantastic thing.
Podcasts.
Fantastic thing. Can you hear us now still? Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can still hear you guys.
Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. Russell wants to know, are you stopping at any pubs?
Do you know what, Russ? On the first day, actually, Wembley, the Wembley stop, there's 6 ex-Bristol City players coming up to do the walk.
Is there?
Scott Murray, Gary Hours, you might have played with him.
Yeah, I know Gary. Yeah, I
So
played
he's
golf
coming
with
up
him.
to do the walk for Wembley. Lewis Kerry, Tommy Docherty, and Joe Brunel. So
Tommy Doc.
Tommy Dock's coming
You
up.
weren't getting past the next pub,
So
were
we've
you?
arranged a couple of beers on that Friday afternoon when we finish our walk, and then I'll drive up to Ipswich Saturday, and then I'll start again Sunday. So
I'll tell you what,
so it's good
they're
that-
brilliant kids, them. They're brilliant lads, they are.
Great group of lads. As you know
Yeah.
know better than I do. I mean, I've got to know them over the years, but yeah.
Yeah, Scott
brilliant.
Murray's still Bristol City kit man, isn't he?
Still Bristol City kit man now, yeah.
Yeah,
but
he
he's
played
Scottish.
right wing for a while for them. Little Scottish lad, great character. He's kit man now. Great
So
guy.
that's- generally, when you go to these walks, it's people that live locally, But so for them guys to come up all the way to, support the MND community is brilliant itself. But I'm sure there's going to be like yourselves, a load of ex-pros that will join in along the way.
On a personal level, Marcus, what does it make you feel when you hear people like Sarah Jane, fans, ex-pros like Terry and Russell, Matty Holland, Milts? How does that make you feel that they are marching alongside you, they and everybody else is on that journey with you? That must give you a lot of support and a feeling of love.
Yeah, I mean, the support's been brilliant, and a lot of people, that support any club or any club, or especially the club I'm walking to, Ipswich. A lot of them can know someone with MND, like Sarah just mentioned. There's someone that they know, a friend of a friend or a family member, and it's amazing now how many people are doing their best to support whether it's a family friend, and give money to a charity that's going to try and help someone with a M&D in the future. I'm hoping in my time.
Well, we all hope so as well. And how are you at the moment?
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. How are you at the moment? How's it going?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, it's getting difficult every day. I'm not going to lie. You can't see you guys. I look pretty normal now, really. I mean, but when it comes to daily life, getting dressed, picking glasses up, making a cup of tea, can be difficult. You know, in the morning, for me to get dressed into, if I was to have a game of golf tomorrow, I love golf and I miss golf, and you get up in the morning, you get dressed and you're ready in half an hour, it'd take me a good hour to get my clothes on without any help. Luckily, I can just about do it, but I'm having a fight with my clothes every day. That's what I see. I say, Luke, I'm going to have a scrap with my clothes and just give me 10. And that's what I do. I don't fight with myself psychologically because I don't worry about things like that. But I have a fight with a lot of things a day. Generally, it's the kettle, and generally that wins because I get burnt. And clothes, and socks for me. I can't wait for the weather to be like Portugal last year. But I can put a pair of flip-flops on. I ain't got to worry about socks.
Excellent.
So if anyone's seen me wearing trousers with a pair of flip-flops and it's raining and it's 4 degrees, you know why. That has to put a pair of socks on.
Brilliant. Are you going to have to?
Things are difficult, you know, but I got on with it and adapt. And I understand there's people with M&D that are a lot more worse off than I am at this particular moment.
And are you going to have adaptations done to the home and things like that as you go forward? Is that part of the plan?
Yeah, that's all being done. That's being done. That's in the pipeline. The home we're in now isn't going to work. It's a townhouse, and that ain't going to work, you know, when things get worse. So, you know, we're looking for a bungalow as it stands. And once that happens, before we move in, we're going to get everything adapted, future-proofed, as Matty Holland called it the other week.
Yeah.
For what might be coming next, what probably will come next, depending on what happens with cures and stuff like that. So, but in my head, it's happening, so I'm going to prepare for it before when I can, while I can.
Yeah.
So.
Well, look, you are an incredible man. We love you now. We loved you when you played here, and you know what you're doing and what you're doing for the community is absolutely amazing. I don't know if you can see on your screen or not, but we've got a lot of props in the studio here from different eras. No, it's okay.
I can see myself, but I can't see it in your studio.
Well, let me describe what I've got here. We've got various props around the room. Okay, you can see me now. This scarf, Ipswich Town versus Inter Milan. Remember that?
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Tell us about your thoughts of that era, playing those international games.
That era?
Yeah.
That Inter Milan game?
Yeah.
I was injured. Didn't play, so I didn't really care.
That's why we didn't win in Milan.
No, I mean, I remember I got injured in training about 2 weeks before. I broke my jaw. Pablo Canago kicked me in the jaw. Accidental, of course. And I was out for that game. But I went to it, and I was almost back for that game. Another week, I would have been fit. But and I trained on the pitch the night before with the lads, which was brilliant. But I was a non-contact. No one's allowed to tackle me. The guys will understand I was a floater, so I had a bib on where I would play for both teams when they had the ball, so I'd get no contact to myself. So I remember being on the pitch, and I was pleased for Alan Armstrong, of course, because he was a great lad, and for the memories that he'll have forever, scoring there and scoring obviously at home as well. Obviously losing was mint, and it was nice to watch the game and nice to be part of it.
Yeah.
But when you don't play in a game, it kind of don't feel the same, even though it's your teammate in your team. It was brilliant for the fans. What an occasion for the fans to be there, and like I say, the rest of the lads to be on that pitch and swap shirts with whatever players they swap shirts with, and just say they played it in a Europa League game in Inter Milan. It will something they'll never forget. So I understand what it feels like, but for me, it didn't really mean a lot in a way because it's tough not being on that pitch. It's a bit like, I don't know if you guys have ever played in a cup final and you've won it, and you've not played. Sorry, been a cup final, you've not played in it, and you just don't feel the same. If you're sub, okay, you're part of the team, but if you're not, you're part of the team still, but you're not. I can't really say I played in it at Inter Milan. I was there, and that's it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have also got here a nice flag which remembers the time that you did play.
I played that game. Yeah.
Yes, you played in that one. What a day. Who was there? Yes, lots of us were there. What a fantastic day out that was for all of us.
I mean, you know, playoff finals, they only matter if you win. Otherwise, I've been on both sides where I've lost the playoff final before I came to you guys for Huddersfield for Bristol Rovers against Huddersfield. So that's my second playoff final, and I know what it's like losing, and it a bit like then the shirts I have from my old clubs where I've lost in the playoff final, I've just given them away. Didn't want them because what's the point of having a shirt of something you didn't win? But then memories like of that day and the weather and the feel good factor leading up to it and after was something I'll never forget. But at the time, you're in a bubble and you don't really think about it. I think it's only when you finish your career and you look back, like Oz would do now in Butch on a more stellar career than I have at international level as well. And you kind of you understand what you've done and what you've been part of. So yeah, for me that was the highlight probably of my career to play in that game. And I love to have played international. I keep saying to Butch, he mocks me for it. And I reckon if I was Welsh, right, I would have got 200 caps.
At least. Or Irish.
Yeah.
But no, it's just nice to look back on your career now and show it. But at the time, you just get on with it and don't reflect on it until years later.
I just want to ask just one question because I remember quite often on a Sunday night, Marcus, I'd see you in Brannigan's down at Cardinal Park. I don't know if you can remember that. I can. But I think you'd have probably fitted in quite well with Butcher and Osman. Do you think he would fit in well with you two boys and vice versa? As Russell swigs on a can of Budweiser right now.
I don't know what you mean.
I got a little Clarkson's farm one here. Look.
Oh, good man.
Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Clarkson.
Cheers, Marcus.
Cheers, lads.
I thought you might be on the cider tonight.
No, I mean, do you know what? I don't drink. I don't drink midweek. As simple as that. But I just sat there and I thought, no, I'm gonna have a beer tonight. I'm not gonna go work tomorrow, so I'm gonna sit down and have a beer. And I know you will have a beer as well, so I thought I'd join you.
Butch, would he have been a good drinking partner? Do you think?
I've certainly, of course he would. Yeah, he's an Ipswich Town player, so certainly he'd be a great drinker. But if he was Welsh and played for Wales against England, I would have kicked the crap out of him. I'll tell you.
Hey, I'll tell you something. It wasn't that easy to do that.
No,
I tried it a couple of times.
You had to catch him first.
I would have tried.
I chased him around Twerton Park one night and couldn't get anywhere near him. God.
Oh dear. Happy days.
It's like, love it. Love it, guys.
Would you have liked to have played with those two then, Marcus?
Oh, bloody hell. I remember. I know I keep winding Butch up about Gary Lineker because I know he's great. But I remember that World Cup. It's like I'm so patriotic when it comes to that sort of stuff. So although you don't think he was a hero of mine, he was. But it's only the fact that he's a centre half that I went for Gary Lineker, if I'm honest.
No, I'm okay with that. No problems at all. No,
it's just to
It's
I can't even compare to those guys' careers. So it's like I'm in awe of people that are international players, especially for England. And I can't believe that they're supporting the walk. I just hope they're young enough to get through it.
So do we. Yes.
Charming.
Oh dear. We've just got a couple of things to do, Mark.
Sorry.
We've just got a couple of things to do before we say cheerio to you. So don't go away just yet. We'll hopefully keep the link strong. It is time for On This Day in History, sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics.
Right, on this day in history, I'm going to start on Wednesday, the 4th of March, 1981. On one of the great European nights, Ipswich demolished St Etienne 4-1 in front of 40,000 expectant Frenchmen in the UEFA Cup quarter-final first leg. Les Verts boasting Michel Platini in their ranks, were picked apart despite scoring first through Dutchman Johnny Rep's header. Withstanding heavy early pressure, Paul Mauner's bullet header at the back post levelled the scores. Arnold Muren's fierce 25-yarder edged the Blues ahead 4 minutes later, and a subsequent swift counter-attack saw Mauner score his second, before Johnny Walk headed home his 30th goal of the season and 11th in that competition, on the worst pitch that we ever played with that season. All right, moving on to Saturday the 5th of March, 1977. Bobby Robson's men won 4-1 at Arsenal in Division 1, thanks to goals from Brian Talbot, Johnny Walk, Keith Birchin and Paul Mauner. And then Saturday the 6th of March, 1976, somebody you mentioned earlier, Mark, and just to show you that I'm not making this up, stocky goalkeeper Lloyd Civil.
Stocky?
Stocky, that's what it says here.
He's a dwarf.
Stocky dwarf goalkeeper Lloyd Civil.
Well, when I had my penalty to take, he filled the goal. He was huge.
Yeah, it was a five-a-side goal. That was
all right.
It still says stocky dwarf goalkeeper Lloyd Civil suffered a bad facial injury when diving at the feet of a future Sky Sports pundit Andy Gray in the 89th minute. Fancy that, 89th minute, you get smacked in the face like that, and then the final whistle goes. The Blues picked up a 0-0 draw after Trevor Wymark replaced Lloyd Civil in goal. And that is all I'm going to tell you about on this day.
Thank you. Ipswich Town's women, second in the table, lost to #United, but still second, still in with the shout promotion. The Man v Fat results for this week. A pleasant evening at goals on Friday saw the guys break even on the scales, but a good night of football and friendly banter was had by all. Town fan Kevin Bennett was this week's top individual achiever as he reached his 20% loss, which is 4 stone. He also put a last-minute equaliser into top bins for his team. This week's results: Wickham Waddlers 8, Ivory Toast 9, Red Hot Chubby Fellas 4, the Cat Funts 15, Borussia München Flapjack 14, Galatasaray 14. And can you get the team to wish yours truly, that's Man v Fat Mark, a very happy birthday as he's celebrating his 60th birthday this week. So
fair play.
Give him a round of applause.
Happy birthday.
Marcus, sorry about the technical issues, but we got you in the end, and it was an absolute delight, wasn't it, everybody, to get him on?
Brilliant.
Good stuff.
It's just going to be fantastic for that walk, and I know lots of people will be taking part and also being there to meet you guys when you finish. So give Marcus Stewart a big round of applause. Fantastic. And I think we've fitted everything in. Slightly over time this week, but frankly, who cares?
It was worth it.
It was worth every minute of it, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, well, we're done. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. Thank you, boys. Thank you to you for listening and watching. We'll be back next week. Good luck to Town on Saturday away at Palace. And we're going to join in with a quick Blue Army!
Blue Army!
This has been a Life's a Pitch TV production. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, All About Hearing, Forward Floors, Ginger Pickle, Fred Olsen Logistics, The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year: Cancer Support Suffolk and the Ipswich Town Community Foundation.